In case I forget later, we are parked in Spider-Man 551. In fact, the car is right there, and the hub is right there. Pretty good parking spot today. Not a bad way to start the day. Hey everyone, it's Ken. Welcome back to Theme Park Flavors, a vegan adventure where we explore some storytelling in theme parks and then eat some delicious plant-based foods. Today's no different. Today's stories are short and sweet, or short and mysterious, short and spooky, and short and magical. I'll tell you what I mean. We will start today here at Universal Studios Florida with some lunch at Finnegan's.
Today's category for that
Alright, stepping into Finnegan's for something to eat, and if you look down here, they also have a little icon that says what options are vegan. And here you have a couple choices. The Leprechaun's Rainbow, a colorful array of fresh fruits served with strawberry sorbet. That sounds good. And there's also vegan sausage Wellington. There's that brand field roast I mentioned in my previous video. Field roast sausage wrapped in a savory pastry with root vegetables, cabbage, and a Dijonnaise. Alright, looks good. Okay, there's lunch. My field roast sausage wrapped up in a flaky puff pastry. I got a slab of cabbage there and some vegetables. And there's that Dijonnaise down there at the bottom. I'll eat this, and when we get outside, we'll talk about it. Okay, instead of waiting until later, I gotta start off by saying the flaky crust is really delicious. And the field roast sausage is so yummy. It's soft and very fennel heavy, if that makes any sense. Very fennel forward. And the Dijonnaise, super duper creamy and good. So what can I say about my meal? But it was very good. I enjoyed it very much. I forgot to note how much it cost. I apologize about that. But the puff pastry did not disappoint. It was crispy and flaky at the same time. Between the puff pastry and the sausage was this wonderful roasted mushroom thing, like a mushroom pate. I think in traditional Wellington, it's a liver pate. This had mushrooms, was really well seasoned. And then of course the sausage was the star of the show. Field roast make a variety of delicious sausages. In my previous video, I was out at Disney, Saratoga Springs, and had a gyro from field roast, and very good. This was also super flavorful. It was very strong on the fennel, so if you're not a big fennel fan, you may not like it, but I love the flavor of fennel, so it was very good. And the vegetables were wonderful. They were perfectly cooked. They weren't too firm. They weren't overcooked and mushy. And that Dijonnaise was very tart, so it was a good, well-rounded meal. You had the crisp, you had the tartness, you had the freshness. It was just great. It was an overall really good meal. Now we're gonna head back into the tribute store to show you some more details from the tribute store that I missed last time. And also at the end, in the projection room, is our first spooky story, which might lead us into potential Halloween Horror Nights storytelling. Let's go. Let's take one more look inside this summer's tribute store and look at some more details that I missed the last time I was out here. We missed a lot.
There are no charges. I am the mayor. I conducted an extensive fact-finding.
You can buy Marty's hoverboard here, signed by the entire cast. Here, as you exit the theater through the projection room, a little Earl Scroll tribute right here. This might be a sneak peek into a theme for this year's Halloween Horror Nights. We are standing in the Tribute Theater right now, and it says here, local theater owners mysteriously vanished only 8 days after renovating the iconic Playhouse into a movie palace. It is today, tragedy strikes. This is from 1939. Fast forward to 1982, an unlikely event, nearly 100 years after building construction, Tribute Theater reopens, having shed all of its previous curses with a question mark. Somebody's questioning that. Since 1885, this proud monument to the universe of entertainment has been standing guard among the iconic giants in the industry. Tragedy? Despair? Have to dig deeper. 1979, newly elected mayor plans to reopen the theater. 1885, October 31st. Grand opening of this theater. So the opening is in October 31st of 1885. Reopens October 31st of 1982. Who knows? Time will tell. Okay, while we were cooling off back there at the tribute store, we made it here, magically, to Islands of Adventure. But that isn't the story. Our story is about a train. Specifically, the Hogwarts Express. Have you ever wondered how this steam-powered locomotive train made it to Hogsmeade? Let me tell you. Our story begins in Cheshire, England, where the Muggle engineering group called Crew builds this wonderful steam locomotive. For those who don't know, Muggles are non-magical folk. Well, in 1827, Adeline Gambol from the Ministry of Magic sees this train and is intrigued by it. Much like Ron Weasley's dad is intrigued by Muggle inventions, she's intrigued by it and decides to, well, suggest something very controversial. Up until this time, students would transfer from place to place, including Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Witchery, by something called a portkey, an item that has been enchanted, and all you've got to do is touch it, and it transports you to another place. Well, the Ministry of Magic decides to take this idea as a better way of transporting many students, instead of just one at a time, to school. So how do you just take a train like this and keep it for yourselves and not let anybody else know, especially those Muggles, that you've taken it? Well, in 1830, the Ministry of Magic performs 167 memory charms and a concealment charm. Now, for those who don't know, memory charms are designed to help you forget something, or make you forget something completely. And a concealment charm is designed to hide something from plain sight. So, this train that once belonged to Muggles has been forgotten and cannot be seen by Muggle eyes, and it naturally ends up here in Hogsmeade.